Alright, this is a demonstration of the compare function of the CCP module with TIMER1 on the PIC 18F4620. So I have 8 buttons. When I press one of those buttons, a certain frequency output comes out of RC0, the pin RC0. And what I'm having it is RB0 is the note, musical note A0, and then all the way through RB7 is the musical note A7. Okay? So on the screen, I'll zoom in and I'll show you. So when I press the buttons, first of all, you can just see that it does change the screen and I'm not playing any joke or anything. So I'm just going to zoom into the screen so you can see the actual frequency measurement. Alright, this is RC0. I'm using the full width of the screen and the fine adjustment of the horizontal scale to get, as accurate of a frequency measurement as I can. So you can see there, this is the frequency, 27.5 Hertz. That's the period, 36.36 and so on milliseconds. So that is correct. That should be A0, the musical note A0. I'm going to zoom through these faster now. I just wanted to talk about this first one, how I'm setting up the measurements. Okay, this is RC0. This is RC1, which should be A1, which is 55, which is double of A0. So that's correct. This is RC2, which would be 110 Hertz, which is A2. This is RC3, which should be A3, which should be 220 Hertz, and you can see we're a little bit off. It's showing there, and this is where it starts being off the 100 nanosecond spec that we needed it to be at. And I think this isn't the actual. I think this is something wrong with the way the scope measures the frequency, because if I try to adjust what I put into the CCPR register, it kind of stays at this 219.7, even though I'm supposedly adding, several counts. So obviously this is too slow. So if I shave off, let's say, whatever, 50 counts, it should make the toggling faster, but it kind of stays at this. So I'm kind of questioning how the frequency over there is shown. So perhaps a proper frequency counter would be more appropriate, or maybe I should just learn a little better how to set up frequency measurements on an oscilloscope. But anyways, this is note A3, or this is note A4 once I press RB4. So again, you can see it's a little off there. This is note A5, which should be 880 once I press RB5, but it's 881. So now we're really starting to get off spec. And I think this one is problem with what I put in the value. I think I should have put in a larger value because this is a little too fast. So this is note A6, which should be 1.75, 75, I think 6. I think this is spot on. And finally, this is note A7, which should be 3.52 kilohertz, but it's 3.521 instead. So, yep. And just to show you that I'm not, playing a trick once more, I'll toggle through all of them in sequence and you'll see the waveforms change on the screen. Give me a second. Alright, so now we're at, this is A0, and the A0 button was just pressed. I'll go A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7. That's the highest. And then I'll just toggle any random one. This should be A3. That was A6. This is A2, A1. That's A0, and so on. So you can see that the general functionality is there. I just need to adjust the CCPR values to be more accurate. But yep,